Excuse me. So, my name is James Williams Jr. This is Comfort Habit number 2. This is my last video for tonight because I have things to do. I want to talk to you guys about growing up. The world needs to grow the fuck up. Alright? I'm not talking about political affiliation. I'm not talking about Donald Trump, the red-headed troll. I'm talking about all of us as a whole. We need to grow the fuck up. Racism, it's a big fucking problem. Why is it a big problem? It's only really a super big problem in America. Now, most places, and I've only been out of the country like maybe 7 or 8 times, but I've always been to the same place. I've always been to Canada. Alright? And at one time while I was in Canada, have I ever been called a half-breed or a nigger or a chief? Well, in America, in my own country, the country in which I love, the country in which I signed my life to wear these dog tags, to take an oath to serve and protect for the glory of our country and God, or for the glory of God and our country, depending on how you want to take that damn oath. Because you're going to swear, to God, you're going to swear, I forgot, right hand over your heart, left hand in the air, you're going to swear that you will serve and protect this country and die for this motherfucker when you join the military, when you join the police, when you join the fireplace, when you join the Coast Guard, when you join organizations like NATO and all of them. You take an oath of service, and when you take that oath of service, you need to take that fucking oath seriously. So now it's time for me to make everyone get serious. You, all, and me, there's one thing you cannot change. You can't change the color of your skin that you were born in. You can change your ethnic background illegally, but not biologically. When I grew up, I had to put down black. My birth certificate says black. It wasn't until the 5th grade when I found out I was partially Native American. Because as a child, they didn't have those things on birth certificates back in the 70s. In fact, it wasn't until you started applying for jobs where other was even a fucking option. It's been many applications that I have applied for, and people would look at me and ask me if I was sure if I was black. And I would tell them, here's my birth certificate. Read it. It says black. So for you people who don't think that I accept my black heritage, you would be wrong. I do. But I also accept my Native American heritage. And as much as I don't claim it, I do accept my white heritage. But the simple fact is, let's keep this shit real. I will never be a white man. It's not gonna fucking happen. Now, you can call me Banana. You can call me Twinkie if you want. Because I am yellow. But the red man and the yellow man are one and the same. Native Americans, we call it the red man, so you guys can call them redskins or whatever, which is a racist insult. And you can call the yellow man, which are Chinese or Japanese. You can call them chinks or gooks or whatever, which is still an insult. But the point is, you can't change the ethnicity that you are born in. If you're Japanese, there's no need for you to be ashamed of being Japanese. You're Japanese. You didn't have a choice in the family before you came out. You were just born. And for some odd-ass reason, America seems to have the biggest problem with this. Now, I did watch something about racism today in Britain and other stuff, and I have no idea. It was on Top Buzz. It was something about TV Weekly or something. It had some black chick with a British accent and 3 British men, and they were all talking about racism and all this other stuff. So, as bad as racism is in America, apparently it has other places where there are racist people, but the world's full of racist people. The problem is that they don't seem to understand that race of a person is the one thing in the world that no one can fucking change. You can bleach your skin if you think it's going to help. The only thing you probably should bleach would probably be your asshole, because that way you can make sure that it's actually clean when you wipe it. As for bleaching other parts of your body and your skin, you know what? Skin cancer is bad enough. Why the fuck do you want to keep trying to make it easier for you to obtain skin cancer? You're in the skin you're in, right? 10,000 years from now, if we're all still having 5 fingers and toes and we're not looking like Vulcans and Klingons and Angaran and Taurians and all kinds of other mythological and superstitial creatures from video games and whatnot, then you'll be thinking, wow, that James Williams Jr. was right. You cannot help the skin you're born in. You can't. So stop fighting Mother Nature. Embrace your heritage. And all of us need to grow up and find a collective way to get along because we're on this planet together. And if we destroy one part of the world, eventually everybody from that part's going to have to come to where we are. Because you can't live in a place that's barren or that you can't make viable for you to live in. The world has enough problems. Why keep adding to it? We should all be working together to find some kind of federational, colonizational unit where every leader of every country has one collective thing and start working on everybody heading into space. So if you're out there in North Korea and you get this, if you're out there in any country that hates America, or any country that hates any other country, why do we all hate each other when we all need the following things? We need water to live, we need food, and we need shelter. Those three things right there is all we really need. Oh yeah, we also need money to pay for the three things that I just mentioned. So we all need jobs or careers. Those are things that we can fix. The things we can't fix is our ethnicities, our cultural differences. But we can accept them and let it be that. I'm part Cherokee. Damn proud. I'm part black. Damn proud. I'm part white. Damn proud. But you know when I'm not proud? Is when we all do stupid shit. When we die over statues. When we cry about a piece of ceramic that's not jumping off the mountain, riding up the street and saying, hey nigger, or hey honky, or hey chief, or hey chink, or hey asshat, or hey motherfucker, dick, pussy, and snot. Too many people in this world have died for senseless shit. Too many people in this world have died for wars that didn't even fucking need to happen. But they're over and they're done. In pushing forward, I suggest that we find some kind of way to make an alliance so that we can start exploring space. To worry about the real threat. The one thing that probably will unite us all. But by then, there might not be an all to unite. Because all of us are stupid enough to realize that, well, I don't like white people, or I don't like black people, or I don't like Asian people. Are we all this fucking dumb? Are we going to be this dumb until the end of time? Because let me explain this to you. The only thing that no one will ever outlive in this entire universe is time. We have time, but we don't have time. Time actually has us. You have a time to be born. You live your life, you learn your lessons, and then you have a time where you die. And if you believe in reincarnation, just like me, I hope to see you in the next life. And if you don't believe in reincarnation and you believe in heaven and hell just like me, then I hope to see you in heaven and not hell. But the simple point is this. You will never be able to change your ethnicity. You have all the facial surgeries and all that stuff, but your DNA will stay the same. And once you have all that done, that's it. So what do? We grow. We learn. We move forward. It's a whole lot easier to take a learning lesson from children. And I'm going to say this because children are innocent, and then I'm going to close out. When I was a child, I didn't see color. Most of my friends were white. Most of my friends were black. And I was that kid in the middle. And then a race war broke out at Berlin Moran Elementary School, where my white friends didn't want me, and my black friends didn't want me. And then when I found out I was part Native American, I was really fucking screwed because there were no other Native American kids in school. There were two other Asian kids. They were from Vietnam. So they didn't have anywhere to go either because it wasn't their fight. And here I am torn between the blacks and the whites because I didn't know I was Native American at the time. And I'm trying to figure out, well, where do I fit in? You understand the point? And before that race war, my skin color didn't matter to either side. Before that race war, I was never told that I wasn't a real nigger. I was a half nigger. Before that race war, I wasn't told that I can't play with Danny because he's white and I'm not. And no, Danny's a fictional character. But as an example, my white friends never stopped me from playing with them when recess came. My black friends never stopped me from playing with them when recess came. We all played tag. We ran around the little field and all that shit. And for some odd ass reason, as we grew up, we all went our own ways. So I'm gonna explain this to you. Kids aren't born racist. They're taught racism. And then from there, they're corrupted, and that's how we keep getting fucked up. Time to break the fucking cycle. Stop raising your kids wrong. Give them a moral sense of right and wrong. Let them know that it's okay to be human and not be fucking idiots. I'm James Williams Sr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. We all bleed red. We all drink water. And if we don't wash, we all stink. So let's try to focus on drinking, eating, breathing, and not smelling like dog shit. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. And this is 11 and a half minutes of your life that you can't get back from Kung Fu Havoc number 2. The actor, the artist, the director, the stuntman, the martial artist, and more importantly, your friend. Be seeing ya.